Good morning. Come with me into the kitchen. It is a warm, cozy place, isn't it? On the counter, you see the usual things. There is some bread for toast and a bowl of bright red strawberries. But wait, if you don't eat those strawberries today, they will be soft tomorrow. The bread will be hard by the end of the week. That is how food works. It has a very short life. But look over there, behind the tea box. Do you see that glass jar? It is filled with a thick, golden liquid. Yes, that is honey. Honey is a rebel. It does not follow the rules of the kitchen. While the milk in your fridge turns sour and the fruit on your table rots, the honey just sits there, perfectly calm and perfectly sweet. Did you know that honey is the only food that never dies? It's a wonderful paradox. Imagine being an explorer in Egypt. You walk into a dark, dusty tomb that has been sealed for 3,000 years. You find a pot of honey left for a pharaoh. You open it, and you realize you could actually spread it on your bread right now. It is still fresh. How is this possible? Why does honey get to live forever while everything else fades away? It feels like magic, but it is actually a beautiful mix of biology and chemistry. To understand this immortal gold, we need to leave the kitchen and see where the story truly begins. Let's go find the bees. Now, let's leave the kitchen and go outside. Imagine we are walking into a bright, sunny garden. Do you hear that sound? Bzzz. Somewhere near the flowers, there is a hidden city. It is a very busy city, but you won't see any cars or roads. This city is a beehive, and it is a masterpiece of organization. Inside this hive, thousands of tiny lives move together like a single giant machine. They don't have a boss with a microphone giving orders. They don't have clocks on the walls. Yet, they work with perfect timing. Each individual knows exactly what the community needs at every moment. It is a level of teamwork that humans are still trying to understand. Some of these tiny citizens stay at the entrance. They act like a security team, protecting the city from danger. Others stay inside to build the city itself. They create perfect hexagon shapes out of wax to store food and protect their young. These shapes are so perfect that even modern architects are amazed by them. Then there are the travelers. They fly miles away to find the best flowers. They are like scouts looking for gold. When they find a good field, they come back and dance to tell the others exactly where the food is. There is no confusion, only action. The most beautiful lesson of the hive is this: no one works for themselves. Everything they do is for the family and for the future. A single bee can only do a little, but together, they create a library of nature and a treasure of honey. They show us that when we work in harmony, even the smallest creatures can build something eternal. Why do bees work so hard? To put it simply, honey is their life insurance. While we see honey as a delicious treat for our tea, for a bee, it is a vital fuel for survival. It is the only thing that stands between the life and death of the entire hive when the world turns cold. Bees live by the rhythm of the seasons. In the spring and summer, food is everywhere. But nature has a dark side: winter. When the temperature drops, flowers disappear, and the air becomes too cold for bees to fly. Without a massive food reserve, thousands of bees would starve in just a few days. Honey is their solution to this problem. It is a superfood that never spoils, perfect for a long, hungry winter. But honey is more than just food. It is also a source of heat. During the freezing winter months, the bees gather in a tight circle to keep their family warm. They eat the honey and vibrate their bodies very fast. This movement turns the sugar from the honey into pure heat. It is like having a natural furnace inside the hive. Even when it is snowing outside, the honey keeps the heart of the city warm. Finally, honey is about the future. It is the energy that feeds the next generation. By storing honey, the bees of today ensure that the babies of tomorrow have enough strength to grow. Every drop of honey is a promise that the family will continue. It is a beautiful story of preparation, showing us that hard work today is the key to surviving tomorrow. Because survival is so important, the bees cannot use nectar alone. Nectar has too much water and it spoils quickly. To solve this problem, the hive becomes a busy alchemy lab. Here, the bees perform a miracle. They transform simple flower water into thick, eternal gold. The story starts at the flower. When a bee drinks nectar, she stores it in a special honey stomach. This is like a small backpack for food. Inside her body, tiny tools called enzymes begin to work. These enzymes change the sugar in the nectar. This is the very first step of the transformation. When the bee returns to the hive, the teamwork begins. She passes the nectar to another bee. They pass it back and forth from mouth to mouth. This sounds strange, but it is necessary. It mixes more enzymes into the liquid and helps it become stronger. However, the liquid is still too watery to last forever. To finish the process, the bees pour the liquid into the small rooms of the honeycomb. Then, hundreds of bees stand together and flap their wings very fast. They act like tiny electric fans. The wind from their wings evaporates the extra water. Slowly, the liquid becomes thick and heavy. When it is perfect, they close the room with a wax lid. The magic is finished. The nectar is now immortal honey. Once the bees seal those wax lids, the honey inside is protected for a long, long time. But why doesn't it go bad? Why can honey stay fresh for thousands of years while other foods rot? The secret lies in the unique chemistry that the bees created in their lab. The most important reason is the lack of water. As the bees fanned the nectar, they removed almost all the moisture. Bacteria and mold need water to grow and breathe. Because honey is so dry, it is like a desert for germs. Without water, they simply cannot survive inside the jar. Another reason is acid. Even though honey tastes very sweet, it is actually a very acidic environment. Most bad bacteria need a neutral place to live. They cannot survive in the acid of the honey. This natural acidity acts as a barrier that keeps the golden liquid pure and safe. The bees also add a special ingredient, natural cleaning power. When they mix enzymes into the nectar, a tiny amount of hydrogen peroxide is created. This is a natural substance that kills germs. It works like a guard inside the honey, destroying any tiny bacteria that try to grow. Finally, honey is very heavy in sugar. Sugar is so strong that it actually pulls water out of any bacteria that fall into it. If a germ enters the honey, the sugar dries it out until it shrivels up and dies. Because of these amazing natural features, honey becomes a place where time stops. It is the only food that stays perfect forever. Because honey is such a perfect fortress for nature's secrets, it can preserve the unique soul of every flower it touches. Have you ever noticed that not all honey looks or tastes the same? Some honey is clear and light, like straw. Other honey is dark and thick, like molasses. Some honey tastes very sweet, while others can be a little bit bitter or even taste like medicine. This is because honey is a flavor map of the earth. Every jar tells a story about the landscape and the season where it was made. It is like a diary of nature. The flavor and color depend entirely on which flowers the bees visit. Imagine a field of orange trees in Florida. The bees drink the nectar from the white blossoms, and the result is orange blossom honey. It is light in color and has a bright citrus taste. It tastes exactly like a sunny summer day. Now imagine the purple fields of lavender in France. The honey made there is lavender honey. It has a very floral smell and a delicate, soft taste. Or think about the dark forests of New Zealand. The bees there visit the manuka bush. Manuka honey is very dark and has a strong, earthy taste. People love it because it is famous for having extra special healing powers. One of the most common types you might find is wildflower honey. This is made from many different flowers in one area. It is a taste of the whole landscape, the trees, the weeds, and the blossoms all mixed together. When you buy a jar of honey, you're buying a piece of geography. You are tasting the soil, the rain, and the sunshine of a specific place. I encourage you to try different types of honey. Don't just pick the same jar every time. Next time, close your eyes and taste it. Can you smell the flowers? Can you imagine the field where the bees were flying? Honey is a beautiful reminder of the diversity of our planet. It shows us that nature has 1,000 different recipes, and the bees are the messengers who bring those recipes to our table. Honey is like a golden thread that connects us to our ancestors. For thousands of years, humans have treated honey as something sacred. It was our first candy, our first medicine, and even our first form of money. Long before we had sugar factories, we had the beehive. In ancient Egypt, honey was so valuable that people used it to pay their taxes. Archaeologists have found paintings on cave walls from 8,000 years ago showing humans climbing tall cliffs to collect wild honey. To the ancient people, honey was a gift from the gods. They even placed jars of honey inside the tombs of the Pharaohs to keep them happy in the afterlife. Honey also gave us one of our most romantic words, honeymoon. In many ancient cultures, a newly married couple would drink honey wine for 1 full month or 1 full cycle of the moon. They believed it would bring sweetness and happiness to their new life together. Even today, honey remains a symbol of love and good luck in weddings around the world. Beyond its sweetness, honey was the world's first pharmacy. Before modern medicine, people used honey to heal burns and skin infections. Today, science proves that our ancestors were right. Doctors still use special honey to help wounds heal faster. From the ancient pyramids to the modern hospitals, honey has been a constant companion to humanity. It is a reminder that some of the best things in life never change. My friends, our story has a serious chapter. We have talked about the magic of honey and the history of bees, but now we must listen to a different sound. Today, the bees are in trouble. All over the world, these tiny, hard-working creatures are disappearing, and they are sending us a cry for help. Why is this happening? There are many reasons, but most of them are connected to how we live. First, there is climate change. When the weather changes too quickly, flowers might bloom at the wrong time. If the bees wake up from winter and find no flowers, they have nothing to eat. Second, we use many chemicals on our farms. These chemicals are meant to kill bad insects, but they often hurt the bees too, making them sick or lost. But why should we care? Some people might think it's just a small insect. But remember, bees do more than just make honey. They're the world's most important pollinators. Without bees, many of the foods we love, like apples, strawberries, coffee, and nuts, would disappear. They're the invisible hands that keep our planet green and our plates full. The good news is that it is not too late. We can help them. We can plant flowers in our gardens that bees love. We can support local beekeepers who treat their bees with kindness. Protecting the bees is not just about saving honey. It is about protecting our own future. As we finish our story, let's look at the honey in your kitchen with new eyes. It is more than food. It is a symbol of persistence. A single bee is tiny, and her life's work is just one small drop. But she never gives up. She works every day because she knows her part is important for the whole family. This is the greatest lesson of the honeybee. Great things are built from many small actions. You don't have to change the world alone. You only need to do your part with love and dedication. If we all act like the bee, working together and supporting our community, we can create something beautiful that lasts forever. Next time you taste honey, remember your own strength. Like the bee, you are small, but you are powerful.